Welcome to another episode of UCRD Reviews. So today I have our first Gundam 0080 line P-Bandai exclusive, the RX-78 NT1 FA Gundam NT1 Full Armor Equipment version anime. Now we've got the Alex with the full armor equipment before in the MSAA line a long time ago, but we haven't really seen it since. So now the Robot Spirits line has released it in its armored form as a exclusive figure. And it looks really good from the promotional art. There's some new stuff that it comes with, so I'm really curious to see how all that works out. I've taken a peek at it briefly, but I wanted to go ahead and do the majority of it during the review here. So let's take a look at what we get in this box. So as you'll notice, the box here is much larger than the Alex figure that we got about a year ago. So this is it. This is the new Gundam Alex figure. And it looks exactly like the old one. I actually have the old one right here. And you can see they're identical. Pretty much nothing has changed. No paint changes, no minor marking changes. All the decals are the same. So they've released an identical figure. Now, what's different about it, of course, is the full armor equipment. So let's go ahead and get the equipment on real quick. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to skip things like going over the articulation and features, just because I went over them in the other Gundam Alex review, but we're going to go ahead and make this figure into its full armor variety. So in the shoulders, there's a little peg right there, and it actually pegs into the shoulder armor here, like so. So I'm going to do this next piece here. And again, if you want to check out my older Gundam Alex review, if you haven't seen that yet, I'll have it linked below. But this one's giving me all kinds of trouble, huh? There we go. Now for the chest. So the chest just kind of snaps directly on, and it's going to connect to the back portion, which is here. You see it has the openings for the thrusters. Now you do want to be careful with these tabs here. They are kind of flimsy. They're going to snap into, you can't really see it, but there's a piece in there. And it just goes straight over, and it'll snap up top. That's the main part where it connects. So we've got that on, so let's work on the waist armor here. If I can get them out, there we go. So the waist armor, you're going to lift the skirt armor up, and it actually kind of slides in right like that. So it'll fit on like that. And we'll do the same to the other side. If I can get it on there, there we go. And then we have the crotch piece here, which is very similar to the one that's already on there, but it has that little armored piece at the top. And it is pretty thin, and it doesn't want to connect. There it goes. So we got it. Next, let's do the legs real quick. So for the legs, you want to break down the armor piece here. It all comes together. You're going to take this front portion off, and the leg armor will come in two pieces. So you're going to snap the side piece on, and then we're going to, you have the little decal there, so it kind of goes up like this, and it'll just kind of snap into place. As you can see, it's very easy to put together, and then this front piece connects the both of them just like that. So we're going to do the other leg here. So same thing, take off the front piece, pull them in half, and we're going to put this side piece and this side piece and put the front on there. There we go. And as you can see, the little flaps for the verniers will open up, and we'll get more into that a little bit later. So next up is the rear skirt armor piece. Sorry, not pierce. It does have effect part connectors there, and it just fits right over, right like that. So the last thing we have to do is put the armor on for the arms. So this is what each set will look like, and it'll kind of break apart like that. Now what you'll do is you'll put the bigger piece over the arm like that, and then the little piece just kind of connects it right like that. Now you'll hear it's loose. The connection's not very strong, so when you're moving the arm around, it's very easy to send the little piece flying. So when you have it in its Chobham armor configuration, the figure that is, you do want to hold the arms like this together when you're moving it around, just so that it doesn't go flying apart. So we're going to go ahead and put the other piece on here real quick. And that goes like that. And now I think we just need beam sabers, which are up in this corner. And they connect just like they did in the other Gundam Alex figure. And that is the Gundam Alex in its Chobham armor. Now aside from the arms, everything else works really good. The leg armor stays together. I do like the little flaps that they have here. I think those are really neat. Everything fits really well. You do see that there's a bunch of hard points on here, and I'll get to what those are for, but they can be used for effect parts as well as usable with the Kempfer, and I'll explain why later. But it's a neat looking mobile suit. So let's check out some of the stuff it comes with. So I lied real quick before we check out the accessories. I wanted to demonstrate the articulation loss that you have with the Chobham armor. So the arm articulation is, you don't have that shoulder movement there, and the legs, you don't have as good a movement. Everything else, it seems, works really well. This back piece might pop off on you. I mean, it's not on there like really well, but I haven't had it actually like fall off. My only real complaint is the arms still. You have full use of the backpack still. Obviously the beam sabers stick out. The head isn't really hindered by the armor very much. So now let's check out the accessories and see what it comes with. So first up, we're going to go through the hands real quickly. It does have the same basic set of hands that the Gundam Alex came with. So you have your set of trigger hands, which I think I have the other one here. So you have those. You have your beam saber hands. You have your more neutral posing hands, and your other set of posing hands, as well as the hand holder thing here. You do also get one damaged part. Now you'll notice that you do get the broken antenna that was broken by the Kempfer's chain mine exploding, I believe. Either that or the shotgun blast. But it's odd that the other figure didn't come with it, because in the final battle it still had the broken antenna. I think I mentioned that in my review, but you get it here in this set at least. And then you get this. So this is a completely different head, and we'll grab the Gundam Alex figure here, and you can see it's a little bit larger and it's a little bit narrower as well. It has a little bit more face detail. I actually like this new head. Now I was one of the ones that I didn't mind the old head, but I kind of like this one. I'm going to pop the old head off real quick and we'll take a look at the two of them side by side. Okay, so this is the old one and the new one. It's a little easier to take a look at them like this. So there's quite a bit of difference. I do like the side profile a lot better. I think it looks more like it should. Almost seems like it's a little taller too, just slightly. Now one thing you have to be careful with both of the heads is, while the original release had a replacement antenna, you don't get a replacement antenna for either of these. You just have the broken one. And the broken one really goes for this one, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be the same antenna type as this one. So you do have to be careful of the antennas, but other than that, it's a neat looking head. So I'm going to have this head on for the rest of the review. Now we're going to take a look at the weaponry real quick. I'm not going to go over anything in a lot of detail, just because, again, most of this stuff is what we've seen with the Gundam Alex release before. So we have two beam sabers. We do have the Hyper Bazooka with the movable handle and the movable back piece. We have the bazooka connector that connects to the rear skirt armor. We have the Gundam Alex's beam rifle, which is the exact same piece, compatible with the effect part. We have the ARM Gatling guns, and they are also compatible with effect parts. And then we have the shield, which has the arm piece that connects to the forearm as well as the handle. Now the shield is the exact same shield, and unfortunately they missed the opportunity with putting Alex on the shield like I think it's supposed to have. There's some line art that doesn't have it, some that does, but you know, the MSIA figure had it on there, and I think this would have been a good opportunity to put it on there. So if you want the blank shield, you can get the regular release Alex, and if you wanted the one with the graphic on it, you could have got this release, but we unfortunately got the exact same shield. So finally here, we're going to go over the effect parts. It's going to kind of be the same deal. The ones that we've seen before, I'm not going to go over in too much detail. If you want to check them out again, you can check out the link below for the Gundam Alex review. Uh-oh, I'm dropping stuff. So you have the beam rifle firing effect and the beam saber slashing effect on the top here. And I'm going to remove this tray. And we have the same thruster effects as the original Alex release, as well as the same Gatling gun firing effects as the other Gundam Alex. Now the rest of this stuff is new, so let's check this out. Now we have several new smoke effects, some of which go on the ground. So you have a smoke effect here, and it just sits kind of in front of the figure. And you have one that's a little more, has like some more fiery effects to it. And then you have two little ones, which is the same deal. You have one that's just smoky and one that has more of a flame effect to it. And now you have a bunch of little tiny effect parts, if I can get them all out of here. And they kind of operate on the same deal. You have a smoky one and a orange one. Now these have pegs to them. So the pegs can attach to, I believe, pieces in here. Could be completely wrong. I am completely wrong. It actually attaches to the figure. So you see all these hard points on here. So some of them are for these smoke effect pieces to simulate the, I guess, the smoke of the explosion coming off of the figure itself, which is kind of cool. And they are ball jointed, so you can kind of turn them however you want. Now the ones that go into the large smoke effects are actually, I think they're these. So you get 4 of these. They're kind of like a smoke effect with like pieces flying, again simulating the giant explosion that had happened. I have to line up this peg. There we go. And so each one of these smoke effects here will have 2 different points where you can attach these. And again, they kind of go at the foot of the figure like that. So it's a really neat effect. And this one has the same hard points with it. And again, there's 2 more of these. So you can kind of attach them however you want. And these can also attach to the figure itself if you want that look as well. You have effect parts like this, which look really good. Now these are both just smoky looking effect parts. But again, you can kind of put them wherever you want. Put them back here. I mean, however you want to do this, because it has so many hard points on it. And you have these kind of trailing smoke parts. You do have these two. So they have pegs here, and you have a smoke one and a fiery one. And then finally here you have some thruster parts, some new ones. So you get two of these, this little clear piece, and you get two of, uh-oh, I dropped it. You get two of these. So these can attach to the feet, and they're a round peg, so you can look like that. Or you can pull up this flap here. Let's see if I can do this. Now the flap has a hard point in there, and then you find the hard point on this, which is actually right there, and we're going to make an attempt at attaching this, if I can get it on there. Maybe not. And you have to be careful with it, just because, you know, this door is kind of flimsy. Now this will peg into the white piece, and you'll have kind of an effect like that. And that's when the Gundam Alex was laying down, it activated its leg boosters to get away from the Kempfer, so that's kind of what this is simulating. And again, you get two of these as well. So one of the advertised features of the Full Armor Equipment Alex is its compatibility with the Kempfer. The Kempfer, and I linked its review below, as you may recall, came with an explosion effect that was actually for the Gundam Alex figure that I have here today. The chain mine was also supposedly compatible with the Gundam Alex's hardpoints that were all over the armor. Now the problem with the chain mine is it has small rounded pegs, and the hardpoints in the armor as well as the shield are the larger squared off or rectangular pegs. So the chain mine doesn't really snap in there very well at all. It does tend to fall apart. Other than that, when you actually get it in place how you want it, it does look very nice, and it's pretty neat. You know, the original Alex figure was made to be used in conjunction with the Zaku 2Kai, and you have this release that's made to go with the Kempfer. So this is one of the ways you can display it, but it just gives another element of displaying to the figure, which is always a good thing. So I'm sure you've figured out by now that this is basically the original release with an optional head, armor, and new effect parts. Other than that, it's the exact same thing. The only difference in accessories is that the original release has the damaged parts for the final battle, where this one does not. Other than that, this is strictly an upgraded version of that figure. And while that's great, it makes me ask, you know, why this wasn't released from the start. You know, include the battle damaged parts for the final battle, and it basically makes the old figure obsolete. I like this figure a lot. I like the options in posing, but I feel like if you have the original Alex figure and you don't really care for the Chobham armor, then there's no real point in getting this version, especially with the exclusive price tag that it has on it. Now if you don't have a Gundam Alex figure and you have the money to spare, this would definitely be the one to buy, just because it comes with a lot more and you have a lot more options than the original. I do like the Chobham armor, although I'm not liking the arm armor too much, just because it pops off so easily. You do lose a little bit of mobility with it, but otherwise, I mean, it looks amazing. I love the effect parts, the smoke parts that it comes with. They're really, really neat. You know, it has all the same weaponry, so you're not losing out on anything. So I'm probably just going to ditch my original Gundam Alex figure and keep this one instead, just because it looks so nice like this, and it's compatible with the Kempfer. So again, if you don't have a Gundam Alex figure and you're wanting to get one, try and find this one for a good price. If you have the Gundam Alex and you didn't really see anything in here that impressed you, skip it completely, because I'm sure the next Gundam 0080 P-Bandai exclusive will be much more sought after. Hopefully we'll get a GM Command or something cool, which I think is coming down the pipeline. So thank you for watching. I will see y'all next time.